Alright guys, what's up? Jack here. Got a little bit of sad news. There'll be a video posted up right after this that will explain this in more detail, but this is probably going to be the last Skate 3 tutorial I might ever do, or there won't be any more for a while. Honestly, I'll go into more detail about that in a video that I'm posting right after that, but I thought I'd give you guys one last good tutorial before I officially say goodbye to Skate 3. There will be the official goodbye video up after this. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, let's get into this tutorial. I thought today I would show you guys basically just a foliage and nature tutorial on how to make more foliage and nature style things in your park. How to make your park have more of an outdoor feeling, more natural kind of looks, basically just how to do like environments and forests and stuff. How to put those and incorporate them into your park. So basically, when you're, I'm gonna do grass, and I'm basically just doing bushes, grasses, trees, everything that you want to add in your park to give it that kind of outdoorsy feel. So when I am doing grass, what I really enjoy to use to make grass, in general, when you're doing nature, let me start over here. But in general, when you're doing nature, things in nature, if you go outside and you look outside around you, everything in nature is different. From the way that the grass looks to the trees to everything. Everything, no matter what it is completely and uniquely different than everything else. Every single tree, every single blade of grass is different. It's random. It's unique. And when you're building parks, you want to try to capture this randomness and uniqueness of nature. So when I'm doing grass, I really enjoy to use this triple little weird wedge corner piece thing. I don't even know what this thing's called, but I really enjoy using this because I can get some really good angles with my grass when I combine them. It makes the grass not so flat. It gives it more dimension and form. So when you just combine these, it really just adds in more. It just gives it different angles. The grass isn't all one perfect angle or one, perfect shape. Grass is random. Same with everything else. So you can just throw together grass, wherever you want it. You want to make the grass different and unique. I'm doing this without merge because I didn't want to get the merge glitch going. To show you guys a non-merge glitch park tutorial. But yeah, that's real life grass. Grass, it goes with the curvature of the earth. The ground. The ground is different and unique, and you want to play with that when you're building your parks. You want to make your ground different and odd. You do not want to just take, grass and just repeat it. Let me put on snapping. RT. You just don't want to repeat it. You're not going to go outside and find grass that's like this. Even on the most manicured of yards and manicured of places, there's still going to be bumps. There's still going to be places where it curves weirdly. You're never going to find grass that's that perfect. You're never going to find the ground that's that perfect. You want to, even if you're trying to make something like this, you still want to play around with these. I really enjoy those because you can make just more unique, kind of random. It has to have a little bit of a funk to it, you know what I mean? Everything is, nature is unique and interesting, and you really got to show that when you're building your parks. It has that little extra touch of detail that makes your parks look completely different and better. It's just anywhere from just tilting one little thing just at a slightly different angle that can completely change the feel of a park or an area. And that's really what you're trying to do here. You want everything to be unique and different. And the merge glitch helps because I could line stuff like that up perfectly, and then it would just look so much, more natural. Whereas this just right here does not look natural. Natural, natural, unnatural. So that's basically what you want to do with grass and ground in general. Even pavement you would still want to do this with. Because if you go out and you look at the road, and you look at roads and streets and stuff, it's all not so concrete and unison and perfect. It has, you know, little funky angles to it. And you kind of want to copy and mimic this oddness and weirdness of the ground and the way everything is, and like the uniqueness of it when you're building your parks. It makes your parks look more realistic, more detailed, and just better overall. So yeah, that's basically the ground aspect of it. Now we're going to go into foliage. Foliage. Now it depends on what kind of park you're doing. But if you're doing like a plaza sort of downtown area, you want your trees to be, you want them all to be different, but you want them to, like, you wouldn't like walk into like a downtown plaza and find a tree that's like on its side forked over in another tree. You know what I mean? Like if you were in the woods, you'd find something like this. Like you'd find something odd like this where a tree just like collapsed on another tree. Like if you go out in the woods. But when you're in a plaza, you want to keep those things. You want to keep the trees mainly a little straight, or maybe they have a little bit of a little bit of a, you know, like a kind of funky angle to them. But they mainly be straight. Whereas if you're in a forest, you might have a tree that's like this, or, you know, like it's really weird. And also, even when you're in that downtown area, you still want everything to be different. So something as just simple as turning the trees on different angles so it looks a little bit different will make it look a little bit more unique, and sticking at different levels in the ground. Like maybe you want the tree to be, you know, short, or maybe you want it to be taller. You know, it's up to you. And also, you want to change the color of every tree, because no tree is the same color. That being said, I wouldn't really suggest that you make a tree that's, you know, bright orange or bright pink. That doesn't really look all too natural. That's too unique. That looks like somebody spray painted a tree, and where this tree is dying of some infectious disease. But yeah, you want to like look for more natural colors, like the browns and the greens. When you really play around with those, some of the lighter reds too, like that, or whatever color that is. Also, I like to combine trees too when I'm making parks, where simply it's just copying another tree and rotating it and putting it at a different height. So now the tree has more branches and more thickness to it. Also, you could take a tree and if you put them, always when you're combining trees, always rotate them so the branches aren't in the same locations. You can take those two trees, and I just made the thickness of the tree a little bit bigger. And you can, if I had the merge glitch on, I can make this tree incredibly thick. Another thing that you can do, I've never really tried this, but you know, maybe when you look at trees, like they're, let's go with, they're, also, well, bushes too. Like, you can take the trees and you can use them to make bushes. Like when you're surrounding the ground, like, and also change the angle once again when you're doing this. Like this adds in bush cover. Like there's bushes in nature, like lots of them. Like if you try to go walk through the forest, try to walk in a straight line. You're not gonna be able to do that for long because of all the bushes that are all over the ground. I like these short little DLC trees too. You can put them at different angles and heights, and they create anywhere from a big bush to little subtle, like little weeds or grass. They work really well. And whenever you're placing something new, always tilt the angle. And then I suggest always going back in and changing the color of a bush or two every now and again. It's okay if you have a couple bushes or trees that are the same color, but I really suggest honestly changing the color every now and again. And make it random. Like put like maybe like one of these bushes is growing in with the other bush, you know? Like this is nature. Nature is random and it's unique. There's nothing that's the same. And when you're building parks, you really want to play on this aspect of nature, and you really want to show it. Make it come through. Like this looks a whole lot more natural and more like nature than if you just plop in bushes all at the same angle, all the same color, you know, like all in a row like that. That just doesn't look right. Like you're building a forest here. You're building a unique landscape. Every landscape is different. And it's up to you to do that. Every tree you should make different. You know, just it's something as simple as changing the color, the angle, and putting it in the ground at different levels makes it look different, you know. That being said, you also want to play around with, like, if you're doing a tropical scene, you know, then maybe you want more palm trees than, you know, anything else. Like if you do a tropical tree right next to whatever tree this is, that might not look too well. If you're in the middle of a tropical scene, you know, you want to play to whatever environment you're trying to make or whatever field, you know. And maybe sometimes there's down trees, like put a palm tree or something, put a tree down like as if it's fallen on the ground. Like in the forest, trees are like that. You'll find trees that are down on the ground all the time, you know. Show that, make that come through, you know. Maybe you could even put a rail in there, and that could be a little skate section right there. Like, you could pop up on this and pop down off of it. Like, that would be something fun to skate. Like, you can make the environment immersive and be able to, make it skatable. When you're doing nature, you want it, like I've said, this is the most key important part. I'm going to say it over and over again. Everything is unique and different. You want to make everything as unique and different as possible. That being said, you don't want something where, like, it's a tree and then halfway through it there's a huge ass palm tree like that. Actually, well, I mean, like it's just a floating palm tree. Like, that's unique, but you're not gonna probably find that in nature. Maybe something like this, where the palm tree's fallen and this tree's caught it. Yeah, you'd find something like that. Absolutely, like, if you go on like I said, like, if you're looking for inspiration on how to do, like, foliage and terrain and forests, I really suggest that you just go outside and you just look around and see what you see. Look at all the trees. Like, what do they look like? How does, what color are they? What are, like, how are trees, like, next to each other? How do trees grow? And then from there, I do the same thing when I'm drawing things. I really love art, and I really love drawing, nature sceneries, and I always try to play on the randomness and uniqueness of nature and your environment when I'm drawing. And the same thing goes right for park building. You want to make a unique, I'm going to say unique as many times as I need to, because that's, like, it's the most important part of the entire, what you're trying to do here. It's uniqueness, but not too unique. Play within the guidelines of nature. Just go outside and look around. That's all I really have to say. This right here, this little spot, even though I put it on what I said was the unrealistic ground, even though I put it on that, it still looks so much better than if I were to just take a bush and then repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. And then, oh, wait, there's some find a tree. Oh, there's some trees behind it. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Like, that just, like, I've seen parks where, like, great park builders, and this is what they do for their foliage. Or they'll, like, box out the park with trees, and it's just, it's like, yeah, because that looks natural, because you're going to go outside and you're going to find trees all in a line, perfect same angle, perfect same size. That being said, sometimes you go outside and trees will be planted in a line like that, and what you want to do for that is just, once again, tilt every tree at a different angle. Maybe give one tree or two tree a little bit of sideward kind of, twerk to it. Make them different colors, even if it's the same type of tree. Maybe just as simple as just a little bit of, like, a little bit of, like, the tone of the tree. Just change it. Or maybe one tree's a little bit thicker than the other, and it's got, those extra branches. Even when you're doing things that are designed and meant to be by humans, like humans want them to be repeating, nature is random, and it will be random. Even if you plant the same tree that are all the same height in a row, spaced out equally, nature, the way that tree grows, is going to make that tree different than the tree that's 10 feet next to it, and so on. And you still even want to show that, even when the trees or the foliage is like that. And that's what you have to do, really, when you're doing nature sceneries. Like, this is a good forest right here, but obviously I would have changed the ground and made the ground a little bit more funky to go with it. Also, for grass, my favorite color for the grass is this shade of purple right here. I use this for a lot of my grass coloring. So when you put them in this shade of purple, it just makes it, like, it's a more realistic, kind of darker grass. I don't know. I think it looks better. It's got more of, like, a forest kind of feel to it. I use that purple for just about every color of grass. That being said, you can do, like, maybe you want your grass to be a little, sunburn, like it's a little dead, maybe. You can play on that too. Oops. But yeah, so that's basically all you need to know for foliage. Also, rocks. Let me do rocks real quick. In nature, there are gonna be rocks. Lots of rocks. I just need to find where the rocks are. Miscellaneous terrain. Where is it? Large rock. When you're doing rocks, same thing goes for rocks. Everything wants to be different. Everything has to be different. Angles, size, coloring, location of the rocks. Find a place where I can put this rock. It helps to have merge. It really does. Because then you can just go in and... some rocks are actually flat like this. To have a smooth, flat rock like that, like, you can go out in nature and you can find rocks like that. but next to it there might be rocks that are, you know, funky and weird. You know, like it's rocks. You know, it's nature. It's weird. It's unique. It's random, and it's beautiful. And you gotta show and play that when you're drawing it, when you're doing it, whatever you're doing, you want to show that. You want to show its uniqueness. It's also really nice to incorporate the terrain that you're building here into the park. Like, I really like to take these rocks, and when I turn them upside down, because they're so smooth, they make like a good, nice little landing pad. Like, maybe you might have a little gap section into those. I might do another park. I don't know. I have an official explanation to the death of Escape 3, or me no longer doing Escape 3 videos. That'll be up after this, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This tutorial. Water is pretty much the same thing. Water's pretty straightforward. Water is lazy. It will go downhill. It's like, like you want to box it in. Like, you just don't want, like, oh yeah, that looks realistic. Like, you don't want to be able to see it like that. Like, if I were to put water like this, however, that looks more realistic. And you don't want water at different angles. Like, that just doesn't look good. Like, just make it all one level. That's what I want to say about water. Now, that's pretty much all I have to say about water. Water's pretty straightforward. Color that, play around with that, depending on what kind of color water. The water in this game kind of sucks, but, that's an entire different rant. Yeah, I think that's looking about it for this video. Yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you guys will now be able to make better and more unique parks, foliage-wise. This is just a quick example. I just did this off the top of my head. I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I came to this video. It's easy. Alright, RT, I'm going to play GTA. I will invite you. Jesus Christ, trying to get in all my videos, RT. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you liked it. Please drop a like and comment below. Thanks for watching.